Hello, hello! So for today's video, I'm going to be making something that's really close to home for me, and that is yakisoba salad. Although it's going to be a cold yakisoba, and it's not stir-fried like usual yakisoba is, I still believe it's going to be delicious, as always. So I love yakisoba. When I lived in Okinawa, yakisoba was delicious. I mean, when I lived in Okinawa, I mainly ate ramen, sushi, yakisoba, yakiniku, ube ice cream, ube snacks, ube anything, which is just the purple sweet potato. It was delicious. It was good. I really miss their ice cream. It doesn't matter. So for the ingredients that I'm using for this are organic buckwheat soba noodles. It was the only thing they had in the store that I could find soba noodle related. So whatever you can find that is soba noodle, that is perfect. It doesn't have to be organic. It can be organic. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to buy. I'm also using light miso, tamari, which is basically just a type of soy sauce, rice vinegar, sesame oil, green onion, carrot, sesame seeds, black pepper underneath that, and red pepper flakes. So stay tuned to watch me make this yakisoba salad or cold noodle salad. This dressing is super easy to make. I start off by putting 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar in there. Then I add about a whole cup of soy sauce in. I ran out of tamari, so I used Hawaiian soy sauce. They're both the same thing. Tamari is just Japanese, aloha Hawaiian, you know, whatever. And then I put about 2 teaspoons of white miso or white bean paste in. The original recipe asked for 1.5 teaspoons, but I really wasn't like that accurate about it. And then I put a whole cup of sesame oil in there. And for the sesame oil, I decided I wanted to kind of slowly whisk it in so it can be more emulsed instead of separate. But I guess it actually doesn't really matter since it's all going to be poured over the noodles anyway, and then the noodles will soak and whatnot. So you'll still get the flavors all around. I guess I was just being a little extra with trying to emulse it and keep it as one dressing instead. I don't even know if the emulsion worked or not, but it definitely got thicker, that's for sure. I did a fine grate on my carrot because I don't really care for like carrot chunks or anything like that. If you want a bigger grate or bigger chunks, go ahead and cut them like how you want them. I just did a fine one. And then I end up slicing up some green onion as well. I try to make sure I get more of the lighter pieces of green onion because that's where you're going to get the majority of your flavor. And then I save some of the darker pieces to put as garnish when I serve it in my bowl on top. For this next part, I did a huge oopsie. I didn't know that buckwheat soba noodles were tied in the box, so I just threw them in like how you throw pasta in, straight from the box. And when it poured out, I was like, oh my god, they're tied. So I had to fish them out, cut the ties off, put them back in the water. But because of this, then they stuck together from the time that I was taking to untie them. So then they never really fully separated. So I had to end up taking those big pieces out that just ended up sticking together no matter how long I had it boiling in the water. They would not come apart. So I lost about half the product that I was supposed to use, which was 1 pound. And that was how much dressing I made was for 1 pound of noodles. And I probably had about half a pound now. So just make sure you check your noodles before you pour them into the pot. And then I end up, adding all the dressing, and it made it really liquidy at the bottom. And at a later time after this video, I decided to strain it out before I store it away, and that made it a lot better. And it still tastes delicious to this day, which is about 4 days later after making this. I'm plating this to give this a little height because I'm just extra, that's why. I just think it looks nicer in the bowl and I like my food to look good. So I ended up garnishing it with a little bit more sesame seeds and the green onion that was left over from earlier. There you go. So before I even taste it, I can tell that there's a lot of sauce at the bottom of the bowl, obviously. I think I'll just strain the sauce out because the noodles already probably have the taste in them. And I don't really want them sitting in that sauce and getting all soggy and whatnot, so I would rather just drain it out, maybe let it sit in the sauce for like 5 minutes and then strain it, and then put the rest in a bowl and store it away in the fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Obviously from the soy sauce I used, there's that saltiness to it. It's not that salty, but I feel like it's missing like some sweetness in there. Like I get that it's supposed to be a salad, but even salad dressings have sugar in them to kind of balance off the acid or the saltiness. And this is definitely missing some sugar in there, and you have the rice wine vinegar in there too. So it's kind of like, there's definitely a lot of sesame flavor, so if you don't really like the taste of sesame, you probably would not want to make this. I love sesame oil. I could like drown in sesame oil. But overall it tastes good, just needs a little bit of doctoring, that's all. So make sure you unwrap your soba noodles before you cook them. I did not know they came wrapped. I was expecting it to be like pasta and you just throw it in there. That was not the case. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye!